if you could take one Manchester United player to fix a problem in your side right now, which United player would you take? Okay, let's have it. United vs Spurs this weekend. I'm here with the man himself. You know the face from Sky Sports. He's the biggest Spurs fan out there. He just hides it when he's on Sky Sports, that's all. But he is, trust me, take this from me, the biggest Spurs fan out there. And he is saying that he is going to batter United this week. I'm only joking. I'm going to ask him myself anyway. But welcome along, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm fantastic, mate. Well, football-wise, not so much so, but I guess we're both in the same boat right now. I just had a little glimpse at the table with everything that's going on, and I can see United in 12th, Spurs in 11th. He was suffering at the same time, but...
Yeah, I mean, I tend not to look at the table till sort of late October, if I'm honest. I mean, I just stay around the top bits. Look, mate, it's going to be the craziest season ever. I'm confident in saying that with the new Champions League, the new Europa League format. Clubs are going to get some serious injuries. And I don't mean to be a doom monger, but like you saw Rodri the other day. Mm-hmm. I spoke to Son the other day. He said, we're not robots. He picked up a knock the other night. And that could be the determining factor when people winning things is how fit's your squad. So, yeah, it's always a special game, Man United Tottenham. I remember the late great Sir Bobby Charlton said it was his favourite fixture. So, I'm not looking forward to it because I'm not very confident. But I always get on with United fans like yourself. So, all good.
We have a common enemy, mate. That's probably why.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we were absolutely useless, you were sort of Arsenal's main league rivals, but Arsenal Spurs is such an intense derby down here in London, in North London, but unfortunately they've got the upper hand at the moment. But it shows how quickly things change. About 2 years ago, you wouldn't put probably an Arsenal player in Tottenham's team under Antonio Conte. Now, Arsenal pretty much dominate. But things change quickly in football. But it does feel like Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, maybe we'll see what happens for the fourth spot. Best of the rest.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I don't even want to talk about the results that are going on right now because everyone above both are all winning. But I mean, let's get into our game, Mike. I mean, I don't think anyone's been able to predict the scoreline for this game. It's an impossible one because of like what we just said. Both teams are misfiring right now, and it's not easy. But in terms of, let me get your thoughts on Manchester United first of all and where we're at. You've been in I've been next to you in Ten Hag press conferences.
Yeah,
the big talk is both teams' managers right now, but I feel like, well, I'll ask you actually, who do you feel needs this managerial-wise, this result on Sunday more?
Oh, Ten Hag, without any shadow of a doubt. You've changed. You've got Omar Barada from Manchester City, Sir Dave Brailsford, Dan Ashworth, Jason Wilcox. I'm probably missing out a few more as well. The only thing you've not changed is the manager. Yeah. Now, we'll never know, but let's assume that he kept his job after the City winning the cup final. You've changed so much upstairs, and I think in time that will have a positive effect on the pitch, but it will take time. In terms of Postecoglou, I spoke to him Friday, I had a good 10-minute chat, and any United fans who like Postecoglou or Spurs fans watching now, that'll be on YouTube on Sunday. I feel that he's under no pressure, really. He's lost a little bit with some of the fans in terms of maybe his stubbornness with his attacking principles. But I think with Ten Hag, I think he doesn't help himself sometimes. I looked at your team against Barnes, and he was moaning about fixtures the other day, which I get. But then I flicked on the other day when you're beating Barnsley. I thought, hang on, why is all these players playing? Surely some of the kids should be playing on 75 odd minutes. And then Rashford was on the bench against Palace. And so, there's question marks, aren't there, for Ten Hag? He finished 8th last season. That's just not on at Man United. Not on at all. If Ollie finished 8th, he'd be out the door. So, so that's how I see. Yeah, so that's how I see Manchester United. And also, let's not forget, he spent quite a lot of money as well. And I still think you look light up front. Midfield needs a bit of work. And they're his players. He wanted De Ligt. Let's wait and see. I still think you need so much more.
Yeah, how do you have two players for every single position on the pitch, sometimes even more, and need more, mate? Honestly, this is the excuse factor I think a lot of Manchester United fans have and it's run its course. Like, there is no more excuses. Everyone's fit. Like, the only players that are not available to United, Lindelof, Malacia, they're never in the team anyway. You could argue Luke Shaw and Lenny Yoro, the new signing, like the biggest signing of the summer. But he's 18. Is he going to dislodge Martinez and De Ligt? Because the defence hasn't been too bad. It's just up front, like you said, we are shy of a striker. Yourselves have invested. Obviously, Solanke, big fee. You feel like, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you right now. When he played for Bournemouth against us last season, mate, he tore us apart. Do you feel like he's the right striker for you and is going to give you enough goals to get you into that top four?
Well, look, I'll reveal it. Tottenham had to sign an English striker because they're very low on the homegrown quota. Yeah. So it was basically either Tony or Solanke. Both were achievable. And Postecoglou went with Solanke. And I think the board were happy with that because there's no real sell-on fee for Tony. Yeah. Solanke's a bit younger. The point is, you're never going to replace Harry Kane, who for me is the best striker in the world. So Solanke's his own man. He's his own player. But he's got off the mark the other day against Brentford, and he got off the mark against Karabag the other night, a couple of tap-ins. That's what you want in a striker. So I think it's a decent deal. Yes, quite expensive, 55 million rising to 65, but obviously you're going to have to pay an English tax. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm happy with the deal. As I say, I think it was always going to be an English striker based on Tottenham's homegrown quota.
Yeah, definitely. The game itself tomorrow, Super Sunday, it would have been a bonanza game this a few years back, but like we said, both bottom half of the table. I think really looking at it, it's a really important game early in the season. You said then, Mike, that, you know what, you look at the table probably late into October, don't you? But it started to change a little bit. Like, you can't fall too far away from top four because you can't see many teams dropping points, can you, above us? And that's the problem, right? So a draw isn't good for any either side, I don't think, tomorrow. It's all out for a win, but your record at Old Trafford, you probably know about it. I can't remember the last time you actually won or what game it was. Was it Sherwood, actually, in charge of Spurs?
I remember 6-1 with Mourinho in COVID.
Oh, sorry, that one. Oh, yeah. Funnily enough, I forgot about that one, mate. I purposely didn't forget, honestly.
I have to be honest with you. I hated football, COVID football with no crowd. You know, it was very odd. But I remember that very well because
so do I.
Was it Martial? Did Martial get sent off very early?
Yeah, he handballed it. No, he sort of.
No, he headbutted someone, didn't he? Or so. But and then we ran wild with Kane and Son and. Yeah, but again, when you're not there, you kind of forget it a bit more. And I was there last year, the 2-2. Two teams are so open, and you know, wasn't the best quality of football. I think the year before that, you beat us 2-0 in the midweek because I remember heading straight to Albert Schloss on 75 minutes. But yes, but no, they're always good games. I mean, I went to the one when we won 2-1, went under Sir Alex and Gareth Bale's incredible. Sorry, was it 2-1 or 3-2? There's been a 2-1 or 3-2. Yeah, I mean, they're always
skinned Rio, wasn't it? Gareth Bale absolutely destroyed Rio Ferdinand, didn't he?
Yeah. The worst one for me, I was behind the goal, and Tottenham were 2 up, and then I can't remember who went round the keeper, Gomez. It might have been Carrick, and Gomez got the ball, and it was a penalty, and it was so blatantly not a penalty. And then United ran riot, like Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney, and everything. It was. Yeah, I'm not bitter about that at all. But I have no idea. I do think there'll be goals tomorrow. Both sides aren't capable of keeping clean sheets in the league.
No, I mean when we do play each other, it is usually that game. I think you play into our hands a little bit with that Ange high line. No coincidence that we actually. Well, obviously you beat us early in the season. Again, controversial handball. Romero, remember that well.
Yeah.
Then you had the 2-2. Could have gone either way. But United, you play very similar with the high line with like Villa do. And we beat Villa twice with that high line. And you play in the high line as well. I think with our players, the quick forwards, it suits us better. So I'm agreeing with you. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in the game. I think it's going to be open. And who takes the chances? And that's where I start to sort of feel less confident, mate, because our forwards are not taking the chances. I mean, who is the main threat for Spurs, would you say, for United? Like Solanke we spoke about, but anyone else?
Yeah. Well, before we get into the comment, people, I must apologise. You got a clean sheet, didn't you, against Southampton and Palace, didn't you? So I must retract that. You do keep clean sheets.
I'm Fulham. That's free this year, mate.
Okay. I've had a shocker. But yeah, I think for Spurs, Son's a big doubt. Big doubt. He came off on Thursday, and I interviewed him Wednesday, and he was very critical of the schedule. So I think, mate, he's very 50-50. Kulusevski started very well. Maddison started very well. Solanke, you mentioned. Brennan Johnson's got 3 and 3. Timo Werner's not really hit the ground running at all.
Does he ever?
Well, I mean, I was a bit surprised they reloaned him. I think it was a very cheap loan, and given the Europe and the Carabao Cup, he probably wanted to get more strength in that forward line. But I think Kulusevski will cause problems tomorrow. Madison's on a bit of form at the moment. Solanke, as you say, and if Son plays, he's always going to cause problems.
Oh God, yeah, that Son would be my fear, my worry. Actually, I've got him in my dream team. Son, he's been in all season, so yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully not tomorrow, but carrying on the form that he's in, he definitely is a threat for us. But I look at Spurs' side. I just feel like they've got a lot more. I think they're playing a better brand of football. This is the question I've asked a lot of fans. I'll ask you. Obviously, I think I know what you're going to say, Michael, because you guys are starved of success. But right now, the debate between amongst all United fans is what's more important: actually enjoying the football you're watching week in, week out, or picking up silverware at the end of the season. I know you're probably one-sided in your argument against the decent football wanting a trophy, and I'm vice versa with United right now. But I think a lot of United fans just want to start enjoying watching football again, because it is quite boring, mate, and it's starting to turn into a hard watch for United fans watching United at the moment. But where are you at with the cup versus the actual entertainment factor?
Well, give me a penalty shootout win, 0-0 draws in every Carabao Cup tie, and then winning the final, and I'll be blubbering on my dad's shoulder, when I'm not working. I'm desperate to win a trophy. It's completely unacceptable. A club the size of Tottenham have not won a trophy since 2008. They've been to finals, semi-finals, even a Champions League final. What people like to take the mick out of Spurs about lack of trophies. They actually think they're wrong every time. They've actually won a lot of trophies, but it was in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. 2 in the 90s. I think 1 or 2 in the 2000s, and that's just not good enough. And when I was growing up, Tottenham had won more FA Cups than anyone. And then now it's Arsenal, and it was United at the time. Yeah. They've not won the FA Cup since 1991. Absolutely disgraceful. It's just not on. But look, I mean, I spoke to Ange Postecoglou yesterday, or Friday for anyone watching Sunday. But I made the point to him that even though Ten Hag has won 2 trophies, that doesn't stop him being under pressure. Wigan and Portsmouth can win an FA Cup. It has to be that, and it should never be either or. Yeah, that's a good point. That's always my point when you're a big club. And United are a humongous club. Spurs are a big club, but it's always this thing I get: 4th or a trophy. Why? It should be both, no? But then I feel this year, Tottenham squad, I'm not sure how strong it actually is. Everyone on the outside says, cool, I love your team. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think it could be a bit stronger. So we'll wait and see. You've got a very confident manager, but they do need to win something, mate. They do. They really, really do. And I think maybe United fans who are always used to winning trophies, you even won trophies under Van Gaal, didn't you? You won the FA Cup. You won things under Mourinho. But the fans weren't really happy then. So I think there's a difference in what both sets of fans want. I personally want to win something, and I don't care how boring it will be. I don't care. You don't care. You don't get an asterisk on the corner at the end and say, "Oh, they played shit." Or, they played rubbish, and it was boring runs to the final. You just win the cup. Yeah, it's like when
a lot of cup finals are crap, aren't they? Yeah, you don't care.
You beat Barnsley 7-0, but I'd be more thinking, hang on, shouldn't he be coming off now? We've got a long season ahead. But anyway, we're all different. We've all got our opinions, but as I say, it's going to be a very long season.
Oh, God, yeah, you can say that again. And like you said, the injuries and the player pile-up, fixture pile-up, everything like that, it's going to be awkward for a lot of managers to balance. And I think you're going to be asking very similar questions in these press conferences throughout the season with a lot of managers. I mean, I wanted to ask the question, I asked this pretty much to all opposition fans. If you could take one Manchester United player to fix a problem in your side right now, and you might not want any, but a clear issue within your team, which United player would you take?
That's brilliant. Well, I'd like more in midfield with Tottenham. I've not seen enough of Mamu Ugarte, but given that Ten Hag wanted him all summer, I imagine he's pretty good. Actually, the rest are a really good one. Really, do you know what? I'm going to get your team out for the other day because
I stumped you a bit.
And in the old days, it would be like literally I'd take anyone, but now I'm looking. It's just like what do we need? I mean, you know,
this is why it's such an important question, because United fans would probably look at this more from an opposition fan looking in as to how they see our club and our team.
Well, given that we were so close to signing Fernandes when he was at Sporting, that's always the one that's got away from me, and he's been a brilliant signing for you. I know he's not had a season, you know, but I'd still want him in my team. I've not seen enough of Joshua Zirkzee. I love Ericsson. I can't believe he's played 4 games in 11 days with what's happened to him. True. Probably Kobe Mainoo, just you know, but interesting one. I'm actually thinking Onana isn't for me. I'm afraid he's not for me. Probably Mainoo or Ugarte if he goes on to be really good.
Okay, so Mainoo for you, Mike. That leads us into the obvious. Let's just go through the 11. The combined 11, Manchester United and Spurs. This is going to be a tough one right now. So I'm going to lead with you. You state your claim. Let's go goalkeeper and back 4 first of all. Who would you go with out of United and Spurs, buddy?
Well, Vicario's had some criticism about his crosses, not dealing with them. He's an unbelievable shot stopper. He's not perfect. I would have him over Onana only on the basis I've seen him more than Onana, but it's tight.
Yeah, I think this is a really tough one. I think, do you know what, Vicario? I would go with that as well, just because I don't like Onana. I think he's always going to let us down. But like I said, both keepers have got the flaws in this one. It's a tough one, but we'll go with Vicario. I think he's the best bet for this right now.
The reason why Vicario, I think he'll get better as he gets used to the league, a bit like De Gea in the early days. He's such a good, like the other night against Karabakh. Yes, it was Europa League, but he was making some amazing saves. I think he'll toughen up a little bit. I think the press has been a little bit hard on him. It's only because I've seen him more than Onana. So if United fans not agreeing, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I think I would agree with you, mate. I've been seeing Onana and Vicario, honestly. Left back, who are we going with?
Well, I'd go Destiny Udogie. He's Italy's #1 left back. He's just come back from a knee injury. He was pretty solid all last season. Again, you know, I'm only doing that because I watch him every week. I know Diego Dallas is pretty consistent for you boys, but yeah, I'd probably go Udogie if it was down to me.
Yeah, I'll be honest, mate. Like Luke Shaw's the normal one. Dolo's not even natural left back, so I'd go with that definitely. I'll go with 2 central defenders. I'd go. You're going to shout with Romero. We could actually go full on Argentina backline here right now, but I think Lisandro Martinez definitely in as 1. Have we got 2 head the ball crazy defenders there? Too much in Romero and Martinez?
No, I'd actually have Van der Ven. He's probably our best signing over the last 4 or 5 years.
That's a good shot. I think Martinez and Van der Ven. Would we be happy with that?
I'll take that. That's fair. Yeah, just Van der Ven last few games and his pace is unbelievable. Oh mate, Football Manager fans watch it. If Football Manager is 20 pace, unbelievable. against Everton, second game of the season. Best signing Spurs have made in years. Brilliant defender. Brilliant.
Do you know what? Right back right now, I'm going to put Mazraoui in, mate, because he's had an absolute stormer of a start to the season. Great. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, Porro's not a. He's a right wing back. I mean, I'll go with you on Mazraoui. I've not seen enough of him, but Porro's more of a forward than a right back. So yeah, all good.
Go with that. Do you want to do a 3-man midfield or 2 holders?
It's your podcast.
I'll go with what I want to play. Actually, I'll go with just a 3 midfield. So we'll do the right hand side of the 3 first. I'm thinking. What am I going with there? Do you know what? I'll put 1 holder in, and then I'll go with 2 forward-thinking forwards. So I'll go with... Shit, actually. Struggling with this one right now. I think, do you know what? Let's put Ugarte in there, simply because I think he's the best natural holding midfielder. I don't know what you think, Mike.
Well, I love Bentancur. He's a really good player.
He is.
He's had injury problems. He's a class act. He's just about to get a suspension. But let's go Ugarte. It's your pod. But no, but both very. Ugarte's Uruguayan as well, isn't he?
He is.
So both of them Uruguayan. But we'll go over Ugarte. Yeah. And Mainu on the right.
I think I would go Kobbie Mainoo. Yep, out of reliability factor. I think right now
And
he's a good shout if you're happy with that.
I'd play Maddison left of the three.
True, I think he's in better form than what Bruno would be right now. Yeah. So I would have to agree with Maddison. So Maddison, Ugarte, and Mainoo in midfield. That's not actually that bad. Okay.
Are you doing a front three then?
Yeah, we'll do a front three. We'll do a middle forward and left and a right. So you start off, mate. Where are you going on the left hand side? Who are you going with?
Well, if Son was fit, I'd go Sonny over Rashford. If Rashford, would it be Rashford probably?
It'd be Rashford or Garnacho.
Well, Garnacho's done well for you, hasn't he?
Yeah. I think
I'll go Son, but he's not fully fit. I would go Solanke.
Yeah, go with the fit, mate. So I'll put Son in. I think I'd agree with Son. He's a better player than anyone that we've got right now up front.
I'll go Solanke over Xerxes. I've not seen enough of Xerxes. And you can probably have the right-hand side, I reckon.
I'll tell you what we'd do.
I think really.
I would probably put, so let's say, I think Garnacho, Solanke, Son. Yeah. I think that fits quite well, actually, mate.
Yeah.
I think that. I'd be happy with that one. But, yeah. And that pretty much sums up everything, really. Before you go, Mike, pleasure getting you on, and Matt, appreciate you coming on and talking to us. But score prediction before you go, what are you going with?
I think United will edge it 3-2. I think Spurs might be a bit leggy from Thursday, I think. And I know people say United aren't scoring enough, but there's something about Spurs at home. They seem to just get into some kind of gear, especially the Bruno. I think Fernandes might have some involvement. I think he's been a bit unlucky. And I think you might just edge it. I'm
thinking the same as you. I'm just thinking because we need a result probably more than you, and we'll probably dig it out. We'll probably dig ourselves a result out of it. But my absolute pleasure getting you on, mate. I'll leave you to your day. Absolute brilliant there. Love them comments. And again, thanks for coming on, buddy.
My pleasure. See you, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Everyone, please do give the video a like. Make sure that you subscribe to Forever United TV, and we'll see you on match day.